Gareth, good morning. How's the rain so far? How's the weather?
Yeah, the weather's not on our side, I'm afraid, today, to me at all. I think for those viewers who were with us a couple of minutes ago, you would have seen I was here yesterday along with our team to come and speak to a few of the people that are out at Gold Reef City. They were enjoying what was a lovely sunny day yesterday. It was full, of course, following COVID-19 regulations. We'll speak to Gold Reef City's Natasha Besaidenote in a moment. But no, there's no chance I was going to get anywhere near one of those rides. I'm afraid as excited as I get as bumper cars or perhaps the teacups. For those who've been to Gold Reef City, I find it quite a thrill. The teacups are fine. I'll leave the Tower of Terror to those who want to try and give themselves a fright. But before we speak to Natasha Besaidenote, I had a chance to come out to Gold Reef City yesterday. It wasn't raining. It was very, very full as far as COVID regulations are concerned, and the number of people they can bring in. But a lot of people having quite a lot of fun on the day. Now, the reason I came out, Tooms, was to find out about tourism in Gauteng. We all know that people from Johannesburg, from Gauteng, tend to leave for the coastal areas. They go to other provinces. But the question I was trying to find out is, what is there still to do in Johannesburg? What is there still to do in Gauteng? And as you're about to hear from some of the people I spoke to yesterday, they actually love being around Gauteng and Joburg during December. Of course, it's also different because of COVID-19 and finances. Let's take a quick listen before I speak to Natasha about what some of them had to tell me yesterday here at Gold Reef City.
It's actually very amazing to see how new rides have developed. So it's so exciting though, it never gets old.
Well, it's awesome, maybe packed, but it's awesome. But one thing I can tell guys out there, don't take the front seats in the Anaconda. I nearly died.
Was it fun? Did you enjoy the ride? Mm-hmm. You like Gold Reef City? Mm-hmm. Which is your favorite ride?
The roller coaster.
Oh, the Tower of Terror is actually, yeah, I love that ride.
You still have that same enjoyment you'd get if you were to travel out of the province or the country.
I comforted myself that if some are coming up, coming back alive, I can do it. And I did it. I'm so happy.
Okay, so that was just some of the people I had a chance to speak to yesterday at Gold Reef City. I'll bring you some more of those guests and customers here from Gold Reef City a little bit later. Natasha Besaidenote, Operations Manager here at Gold Reef City. What happened to the weather? You told me yesterday you can control everything, the rides, we're going to have fun, and we failed on the weather. Is this my fault or yours?
No, it's definitely yours. You ordered this,
yeah,
not me.
It's obviously my fault as well. So, unfortunately, the weather not on our side at the moment, and it's just worth reminding viewers as well, it is empty here in Town Square because you were very kind enough to let us come in early for our show. The park only opens 9:30.
Yes.
What happens on a day like this, though?
So on a day like this, because we sell our tickets online only now, our guests have the option to move their tickets to another day, or they can still come through, because sometimes kids are very excited. But there is some attractions that will open. For instance, Jump City, the Mine will open, 4D Theatre, all our water rides, things like that.
So you get wet anyway.
Exactly. So there is still stuff to do.
All right, let's talk a little bit about what it's looked like here the last 2 years. I imagine during the hard lockdown, Natasha, you walking around, this is pretty much the view you had. It was a tough time for everyone, but when I was here yesterday, it hasn't affected the clientele at all.
So we've done quite a bit to make sure that we comply with COVID regulations. We've lowered the capacity that we allow into the park. We only allow online sales at the gate. That way we can control the numbers. And of course we've done stuff like social distancing in queue lines. We've got mask patrollers. We've made sure everyone adheres to all of the regulations. Sanitizing everywhere like you saw yesterday. So that's what we've done. Because we only allow a certain amount of people into the park, we can control that experience as well and still make sure that we give our guests the best experience that they can.
Well, a lot of people we had a chance to speak to yesterday is because obviously you're controlling the numbers. The waiting times, for example, there's a pro here to having controlled numbers coming into the park due to COVID because they're getting to the rides faster, aren't they? So it has changed the experience of it.
It has. So you can ride all of the rides more than once a day now with the numbers that we've got now. So that's a big plus for our guests. And it also just makes the experience a lot more worthwhile in their eyes.
So as far as someone who deals primarily with the marketing side of Gold Reef City as well, how difficult is it to market Gold Reef City to the locals, Gautengers, Joburgers, after COVID-19? Or has it always just been one of those staples that people know it's here? Because I spoke to someone from Zimbabwe yesterday. I don't think we played that soundbite now. It might be later. She came to visit family, and she wanted to come to Gold Reef City. So even outside the border, people know about Gold Reef City.
Gold Reef City is an iconic place, and it's somewhere you have to come at least once in your life. So for us, promoting the park, it's more about the experience that you can have when you get here than trying to draw in the numbers. We always promote our new rides, obviously, and we're always trying to add to the experience for our guests. But it's somewhere you have to come at least once in your life.
Yeah.
And a lot of people that I speak to every day tells me that they've been here when they were little and now they're bringing their kids. So it's something that families share with families, and that's the whole idea. I mean, it's a family park. It's part of South Africa's heritage.
It's probably one of the only places I've been to in a public space, and I'm talking about, for example, beaches, game lodges, for example, as well, where the kind of COVID regulations you're putting into place are clear. I didn't see a single person walking around without a mask yesterday. In fact, I believe I saw one or two of them walking around with a little board saying, please wear your mask. It's one of the most compliant places I've been to. And as a business, how difficult is it to put that all into place? You've got customers who are coming in, you want them to spend money, but you've got to still enforce these things, don't you?
Yeah, no, we definitely have to. And I mean, that's part of what makes us who we are. We always comply with all regulations that are put out. You saw them yesterday. We've got mask patrollers walking the park. We've got queue line controllers making sure everyone's safe in the queue lines and social distancing and things like that. So it's very important to us, and it's something that, you know, across Tsogosan, it's at every property that they manage. It's something that we've put in place, that we want to make sure our guests feel safe, number one, and that they still enjoy themselves.
It must have been years since I was actually here last, because I remember primarily sort of Town Square, the Ferris wheel, Tower of Terror, which I think everyone now knows I'm not going to go on. It's just not going to happen. But then there's the where the teacups are on the little kiddies area. But there's a whole nother part of Gold Reef City that I actually forgot was there. I walked past a roller coaster, which you told me yesterday's been there since almost the beginning, but I didn't recognize it. And that's the problem. That's how big this venue is, and I don't think a lot of people realize the scale that we're working with here.
There's over 30 rides in this park. I mean, for kiddies alone, there's 23 rides more. So we've just put in another 9 rides. So everyone normally, like I said to you yesterday, runs for the Anaconda first.
Yeah.
But there's a whole different part of the park where you can go and be the first on a ride, because there's over 30 rides in this park. And that's not only rides. We've got the mine attraction, we've got the heritage houses, we've got games around the park, the putt-putt you spoke about yesterday. So there's so much to do. For 250 Rand a person, you can spend the whole day here from when the gates open, and currently we're closing at 6. So, I mean, it's an added hour that you can spend in the park at the moment, and it's a full day. And there's so much to do.
Yeah, putt-putt is my idea of an exhilarating ride here
you said so.
At Gold Reef City as well. So when we look back over COVID-19, we were coming out of hard lockdowns. This was obviously all closed down. What was it like having to deal with the authorities to try and get permission to open up? What were the kind of stringent conditions that they wanted in place, or were you ahead of the curve already, or did you have to wait for them to go, Gold Reef City, this is what we want from you in order to open up? What was that period like?
So head office was quite forward thinking. They already spoke to government about what we needed to do, and those plans were put in place long before we even opened the park. Obviously, with the casino opened earlier than us, and they put in place everything that they needed to do, and then we followed that module at the theme park. So before, I think 2 months before we even opened, all our protocols had been planned, everything had been put in place, so that when we opened our gates for the first time again, our guests can feel safe.
Now let's talk about the December plans. What are we looking like as far as days that are open? Because I'm sure someone watching now is going, actually, I forgot about Gold Reef City. Obviously, please choose a day with some nicer weather. Don't blame me this time around if it rains again. What are the days we're looking at? I'm guessing New Year's Day, Christmas Day are closed. What's the operating hours and the days you're open?
So the only day that will be closed is Christmas Day. Then until the 9th of January, we'll be open till 6 o'clock at night. We start letting guests in through the gate at about 9 o'clock in the morning, but the rides only open at 9:30. So you can expect a full day from 9:30 on all the rides until 6 o'clock at night until the 9th of January.
And I think it's worth re-emphasising this, because I know there's always a bit of confusion with customers arriving at the gate going, "Hi, here's my 250 Rand, I want to come in." I think let's just re-emphasise, that's not how it works.
No, during COVID, because of COVID, we've changed that. The whole world has gone online, so we now only sell our tickets online as well, and guests can just visit our website, go to the theme park page and buy their tickets there.
So just before I let you go and I say goodbye, the reason we were doing all of this is I'm trying to find a way to keep those in Gauteng, because we're talking local tourism and the affordability of it, and 250 Rand is actually really cheap for what you're getting here. So we've spoken about that. As someone who works in the tourism entertainment sort of sector, how do you try and convince people who say, well, come December, I'm leaving the province, I'm not giving it a second thought? Gauteng is still a great place to be, and this is just one of those attractions, isn't it? Yeah, no, there's lots in Gauteng to do. I mean, Gauteng has got a lot of variety of restaurants. You've got lots of little things like Hartbeespoort, that's got all of those nice attractions. Machalis, you spoke about the Eiffel Tower yesterday. So there's lots of different things to do here. You don't need to go to another province to make sure that you get the most out of your December holiday. Yeah, absolutely. When we talk local, we don't just mean local around South Africa, we mean hyper-local as well. But there you go, apart from the rain this morning, but it might clear up a little bit later.
It's starting
to stop. I'm going to go run in the rain now, see how it's going. The rides might open a little bit later. Natasha, thank you very much indeed for joining us.
Thank you very
Natasha,
much.
the Saturday Note Operations Manager here at Gold Reef City. So once the rain starts clearing away, it looks like it's drying up a little bit, maybe about 9:30 this morning. It might have cleared up as well, but just a reminder, you can't just walk up to the gates. Not like the old days. Kids, you've got to now book online before you can arrive here at Gold Reef City. Now, Toombs, before I come back to you, just going to remind everyone, so we've spoken to Gold Reef City. Now, of course, we're going to speak to the newly elected Joburg Mayor a little bit later at about 7:45. I think was the time that we're going to be doing that. Just have I lost track of time? No, I haven't. 7:45 this morning, speaking to the Joburg Mayor, going to be joining me here at the same spot in Gold Reef City. Hopefully going to bring some sunshine with her as well. Back to you for now, though, Toombs.